Ratna, you've been working with various stakeholders in government and elsewhere on what form and shape should India's crypto regulation take. Can you give us a sense as best as you can about the current thinking in terms of how thinking within government is evolving, thinking within policy formulators is evolving on what might be an ideal crypto governance framework for a country like India?
Yeah, thanks, Rahul. It's great to be on the show. And I think in terms of, you summarized it for where it was a few months ago. And I think globally also you'll see that a lot has changed for crypto in its standing, I think, as a financial instrument everywhere. So I think the real challenge for India is that its risk conditions are very different from what we have in other countries. If you take the US, for example, which we look to as precedent, that is really the currency of the world, and that's not a currency that has any capital controls or SEMA or any kind of issues when it comes to its cross-border usage, because that is a very well-oiled mechanism called the euro-dollar system. So when it comes to India and you're trying to get your country into an environment which really does not have those kind of controls and really does not allow you the kind of monetary management you're used to, it is quite challenging. And the problem that there is really no precedent for India in terms of how you manage these risks, how you can actually fit this within the kind of frameworks that we have in the country with regards to cross-border flows and investments and things like that. That's really the challenge, is that the risk framework for India is quite challenging. We don't have a precedent. And I think the solutions around this will take about as much innovation as it takes to run a good crypto project, right? So I think it's not going to be a very cookie-cutter solution that you see coming out of India.
Prasanjit Bose, lay out for everyone watching why you're such a crypto cynic. What all do you think can go wrong? Why do you think, what countries like China and some of the others are doing in terms of banning cryptos altogether is essentially what a country like India should also be doing? Because when you say that, do remember that there are now some facts on the ground. Whether the figure is 10 crores or downwards, I think it's downwards because that could just be an aggregate. But the fact is that there are many people who've now invested hard-earned money in cryptocurrency, and therefore a radical ban would create its own backlash. Why do you still believe that India needs to take a tough position on cryptocurrency? Prasanjit Bose.
Well, Rahul, I am not sure whether I am a crypto cynic, as you have characterized me. I am still watching the situation. I think that I actually agree with you that at this point of time, the numbers that are being cited are all unofficial numbers. There may be problems in double counting and so on. So one exactly doesn't know, but it's a clear case where a lot of people are suddenly finding this to be an attractive option to put in money. Now, I think that if you are asking reasons for skepticism, not mine alone, but I think that even the regulators or the government itself is not really very comfortable about what is happening, is because the name cryptocurrency, I think itself quite misleading. This is really not a currency. What it is, it should be correctly classified as an asset. It's a digital asset. What intrinsic value it has is still a matter of debate that is happening all over the world. And what accounts for the intrinsic value of a Bitcoin, or and that is why you find very wide fluctuations in its value. Even on a daily basis, the kind of fluctuations that one sees in these cryptocurrencies clearly show that it is not only it's a very highly liquid and a highly risky asset. So I think that the regulation of this kind of asset class should have actually, it should have happened yesterday. The government is clearly behind the curve, because so many investors have come in. So much money is being made, and that is precisely where the problem lies, because one is not sure whether all those who are making money in this or who are buying into this are aware of what they are signing up to. What about illegal activities? What about tax evasion? What about beating capital controls? What about dealing with criminal activities through these cryptocurrencies. I think there are many areas which need to be very closely looked at. People who are putting their hard-earned money into this, they may lose it because of the inherent speculative or volatile nature of the asset. So all this calls for a very prompt and as well as a careful regulatory framework. I agree that a blanket ban or prohibition at this, in any case, the Supreme Court has given a judgment on this. So one has to, everybody who is dealing with this is doing something that is undesirable, need not be so. There may be a case that this offers some, avenues for technological innovation. There is no point in going overboard on this because there is a global debate. This is not a new thing. There is a global debate on whether this is really something on which we are going to see path-breaking innovations, or is it just like tulip mania? It is just like, it is a fad of the season which is not going to last very long. We don't know the answers to this question. But I think that, it may be given a chance, but there is absolutely no doubt that it needs to be regulated, because under the garb of this, a lot of illegal activities may happen. A lot of unsuspecting people may put in their money and lose it because of the inherent risky